guys, back in another video, and this time we're going to be making it a lot better for you. If you guys can see, you can see me now, obviously, and then I have my nice little snowball mic set up, and I'm just excited to bring you more content, and I'm going to start doing this more often, especially where you guys can see me. But, once again, this video is going to be a little different from Joey Palladino's video. If you haven't seen his channel, Crossroad TCG, please check it out. He's one of my teammates. He goes over the San Diego Rockford breakdowns and talks about a few more things. But and he talks about how many decks are being played and gives a little bit of details on certain strategies and how they changed. But I want to go into a little more detail about how to approach this format even farther. This format is extremely diverse. If you saw the last set of tournaments, which was the previous weekend at the Pro Play Tour, at Pro Play Games' regional in Orlando, they had a resurgence of Janimbas after the tournament before that had one Janimba. So it's a flip-flop. Right now we're in a format where people like to follow what's popular. So we had Toa, extremely popular, won that regional before Janimba. There's one Janimba. Oh wait, we're gonna adapt Janimba to where it can beat his hard matchup, which is Toa. Oh wait, Janimba is all over the place. It makes the most of the top cut. Oh wait, let's play stuff that beats Janimba. Janimba falls out of favor for the next tournament. So this is what we have. And then we have a abundance of decks that are versatile and can take on other matchups, which are red decks and red-green decks, and then you have, which is Pan or red-green Gogeta, and then you have Shinmon decks. So what deck do you play? So, and also you have a few other decks too. I don't want to go into specifics about every deck, but then you have Baby Vegeta, which got second place and lost to Marcus Condarsi in the finals. Shout out to Marcus and the DBS dudes for making it to the finals. Once again, to the finals. Just like last year's Nationals. But this is a regional breakdown, so as the regionals keep coming and going, and the LCQs come, which my friend Tyler Rice won with Broly U6. See, this is what I want to go into detail. You hear all these decks names. You heard a lot of different decks names. I didn't even go into all of them, like Hirudegarn, and specifically there are different versions of Pan, the red-green Pan version with Piccolo. Then you have regular U6 Kaba, and then you have Frieza Prison that you can see there. And shoot, you see this breakdown right here with it's got Skillless, Oob, and you see there's just so, and Shinra and Purunga. So there's so many different decks you can play right now. But what does that mean for you? How do you make the decision on what deck to play? The last tournament was won by Broly How to Mastery, and there were a resurgence of. There was just so many decks and there's a lot of Purunga decks being played now. But Purunga's win con is about turn 5 on average. But it sets up so beautifully, and it can win different ways. And Kaioken is pretty strong, along with Gogeta 7. Which way do you go with the deck? How do you approach it? Because sometimes they just pass turn. They don't win on turn 5. They knock you out of the game completely, basically. So how do you go about it? Marcus went with something he was super comfortable with, and that he understood the old matchups. And he's like, oh, I haven't really been able to play it in real life in a while, so I'll take this deck that I'm super comfortable with, and I'm going to test a little bit against the matchup I know is kind of hard, which was Toa for him. He did have to play against Toa and then the top 8, which he somehow won. Now, he told us in the chat that he felt he lost to Toa if he lost a dice roll. But he was also playing against a very competent Toa player. And he didn't... There's only one dice roll. So Marcus won the dice roll, went first, swept him, 2-0, I believe. Either way, he made it to the finals to play against Baby Vegeta. Very proud of him. But in this matchup, I feel like losing the dice roll matters too. The Nile Hope is super powerful against the deck, and if you can keep 2 energy up and keep pressuring with Digging Deep Vegeta and putting on Big Baby on the board, it's going to be really hard for him to win, unless he plays with another win con that is not High to Mastery, which he did in Game 2 when he went second, which was very, very clever of him, and the Cooler Bad Ring card, which draws you 2 cards and puts a body on the board, ended up winning him the match. Now, what do we really take from this? Because do you just play the deck that you're super comfortable with and you understand matchups? Which would be the right answer in most cases. Now, not always very correct. Are you afraid of losing to bad matchups that are across the board? If you feel like a deck has a bunch of bad matchups that going into a format. For example, some decks just really struggle against other decks. Which, for example, all the aggro decks pretty much lose to a very competent Janimba player, which is fair. The red decks struggle against Janimba. The Green deck's struggling with Janemba, but the thing is, Janemba is a outlier, right? So Janemba's like a power surge. So a lot of people want to play decks that are really good against Janemba. So, but these decks that are really good against Janemba lose to the really aggressive decks. So how do you approach this format? So what I suggest is doing what Marcus did, and I stated it a little bit earlier, but I said it may not be true, but it is true in this format. Play something you're super comfortable with. Now, I play currently a Hurdagon deck. Hurdagon deck does have a big struggle against Janemba, but I'm going to adapt it to where I can at least sideboard in some cards to potentially win the matchup for me, which is a fair statement to do, because it has a pretty good matchup against the U6 decks, and it has a pretty good matchup against Toa. But you still have to know these matchups and understand why they are good matchups. You can't just say, man, I'm playing Purunga because I think it's cool and I like winning with Victor Strike and Kaioken. You can try it, but just don't go in there expecting to win every match because you like the way the deck plays and can basically solitaire. You have to learn how to play defense and understand how some of these matchups you need to side specific cards for this matchup, or you just auto lose. For example, there are some rogue decks that I did not mention, which I posted on my channel, the Dende deck, the blue one, and then you have the yellow Dende deck, right? These decks are still pretty decent decks you can pick for this format. But do you have the tools equipped to beat the majority of the meta? If you do, play the deck. Or if you feel like you can handle it, play the deck. But you need to be careful with what you choose. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you.